Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hello everyone out there in podcast land. My name's Scott McFarlane and welcome to the Front Row Movie Reviews, the podcast for those who actually like movies. I'm the resident Trekkie of the Front Row crew, so they've asked me to go ahead and review the second Star Trek Beyond trailer that dropped about a week ago. So first off, a little background on my thoughts on J.J. Abrams' Trek. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think Star Trek 2009 was a great addition to the franchise. I think rebooting the franchise was a good idea. And I like the addition of the action. I like the going back to the original series crew. I really overall enjoyed Star Trek 11, for those who've been around for a while. And so I was really excited going into Star Trek 12, Star Trek Into Darkness. And for the most part, it was a good movie. I actually just rewatched it here a few minutes ago, and I felt kind of burned when I saw it in the theaters, because I think it tried way too hard to be Star Trek 2. But when you get past that, when you know all that crap is coming, and you watch the movie, it's still a good movie. The couple things that I would get rid of in Into Darkness is the transwarp beaming. Don't use it ever again. It was a bad plot device in Star Trek 2009. It was a terrible plot device in Into Darkness. And I swear to God, if they use transwarp beaming in Star Trek Beyond, I'm going to walk out of the frickin' theater. Likewise, no use of Khan Triple Super Blood. It's a terrible plot device again. We have now a Star Trek universe where you can beam from Earth to Kronos in 5 seconds. And if you die in the way, you can inject yourself with some triple blood, and you can come back to life. All of that just needs to be ignored in this new movie. I also want them to not go back and try to ape what's happened before. The third act of Star Trek Into Darkness basically plagiarized Harv Bennett, word for word, in that engineering scene. Yes, you switched Spock and Kirk around, but they did it so well in Star Trek 2, and it just made Star Trek Into Darkness look juvenile when they try to do it. So I'm hoping they don't do that again. Now, I'm really scared after the first trailer. The Star Trek Beyond trailer with the Beastie Boys looked like a Fast and the Furious in space. And I don't want a Fast and the Furious in space. But I was still holding out hopes, because Justin Lin has said that he grew up on the couch in his parents' house watching Star Trek the original series, which is exactly what I did. So if he watched the same show I did, then I hope he brings that to the table. Likewise, Simon Pegg knows this franchise frontwards and backwards, and he is a geek. So him writing the script makes me very excited. And he has said after the first trailer that that was not the movie that he was in and not the movie he wrote. So I'm going to trust Simon Pegg as long as I can on this one and hope that he is telling the truth and this is a better movie than what we saw in the first trailer. That being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to queue up the second trailer and kind of walk you through it and walk through my thoughts, and then I'll close up and be done. So this is the first time we're doing video, by the way. So those listening to the audio podcast, I'm hitting play right now. So we start out with the Enterprise that we've known for 2 movies now. Of course, in a few seconds we're going to lose that Enterprise, but it's good to point out that we're in the same universe. I like the fact that Kirk is questioning his captaincy. He got that captain seat way too quickly in Star Trek 2009. And the fact that he is still kind of questioning where he is. I actually love this warp effect, by the way. The fact that he's questioning where he came from on this is good. And we also see one of the reshoot scenes. We know it's a reshoot scene because that actress, who I'm blanking on her name right now, but that actress who's giving the narrative was added during the reshoots. So I think that's going to help kind of drive the storyline a little bit. I like the new uniforms. There's some outcry on the internet about the shoulder stripes on the militaristic uniforms, but those look like that's the away team uniforms. You can see here that we have the more kind of TOS looking uniforms on the ship, which is now getting destroyed. Do we have to blow up the Enterprise in every freaking movie? Really? You blew it up once in Star Trek 3, but we knew that Enterprise for the entire original series and through 2 movies before they blew it up. We've only seen this Enterprise for 5 minutes, and they're blowing it up again. But, oh well. I love Idris Elba in this, just in the few seconds we've seen him. He's not Idris Elba. He's playing a part very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing him as a villain in this. The dirt bike, it's a dirt bike. I'm just going to get over it. It's there for the kiddies. It'll only be one scene. I'll live. Here we see more of the wreckage of the Enterprise, so we know the Enterprise is down, and probably down for the count. This is definitely a new planet, and I'm hoping they stick to this planet the whole movie. We do not have to go back to Earth. San Francisco does not need to be in trouble. It's okay. And here we see the space station or spaceport that's around the planet, and we see an NX-01. Is it the same kind of NX-01 from Star Trek Enterprise, the first Enterprise? Sorry to those on the audio podcast, but this guy right here, is it the same kind of NX-01? We're going to find out. But it's interesting that they're going back to that kind of ship and finally making Star Trek Enterprise really canon. I may be in the minority here, but I actually like Star Trek Enterprise. I think the first season, well, it wasn't that good. But by the time they got to the last season, they were really firing on all thrusters. Sorry, pardon the pun. And it's kind of exciting to see what looks like a ship from that series coming out of mothballs for this series. So, in short, I'm excited now for this Star Trek movie. I was not after the first trailer. So, this trailer was able to bring me back. And I think that's important because I represent the nerd quotient of Star Trek fans who remember watching the original series back in the early 80s. And obviously people have been watching that show since the 60s. This is the 50th anniversary of the original series. So bringing us back with this trailer is important. They should never have lost us after that first god-awful trailer, but at least they're trying to bring us back. And now I'm actually interested to see in the movie again. Again, Justin Lin doesn't scare me. I think he's going to do fine. I think he knows the source material. And Simon Pegg, I'm putting all my trust and faith in that man. The guys who wrote Star Trek Into Darkness are all gone. So I'm hoping we don't have to go back and plagiarize Harve Bennett again. This is going to be a big year for Star Trek. We have Star Trek Beyond coming out in a few weeks. And then, in 2017, Star Trek's coming back to where it belongs, on TV. Well, streaming, but same idea. So I'm excited, I'm looking forward to it, and now I'm rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and close out by saying live long and prosper, and we will see you in the front row.